And let's talk about Belle Calise, because Belle Calise coming for Trashy K throat. And she's saying like, and here's the thing. I'm thinking she watched Fag Talk the other day with T.S. Madison and Craig, because the other day they was talking. Maddie went in on Trashy K and was saying some stuff regarding her and these lies that she was spreading about embezzling money from her foundation that she has, the starter house, which is helping incarcerated trans women get their bearings and get their life back on track. So they was up in there saying Dominique Morgan, a bunch of other stuff, embezzling money, and saying all this information, misinformation, and lies on social media. And Maddie was being Florida Maddie and went in and was doing the reads and the roasts and the gags and all the other stuff about you know, what Trashy was saying. Excuse me. So I guess with all that being said, maybe Cardi in between, taking a break on his tour, she heard what Miss Thing was out here doing and was like, you want to know something? Because the trans girls, they all kind of with each other. So the trans girl, she got the Tokyo style them that she got on her team. They probably good Judy's with Maddie. Heard what had happened, and Cardi got to that whole situation was like, okay, I'm putting my foot on this bitch neck. I want my coins. Bitch better have my money. So the rapper is reminding the celebrity blogger of their agreement and has demanded that she provide information about her finances, including bank records, in person. Because, like I said, if we're going to talk about other people's alleged embezzlement and money and finances and things, what you was trying to do, throw that stray at T.S. Madison, be careful of the type of energy you put out there, because, sis, that was some accusations that they had on you in regard to your finances, and why all of a sudden you got all this mouth about all these celebrities and spreading lies and misinformation and interviewing people like that old fat neck fuck that was out here talking that shit about Will and Jada, where the judge just denied his thing for a restraining order against Jada Pinkett Smith. That was just thrown out of court. And you interviewing all these people for views and clicks, and that's great and all. But the repercussions that comes with that, when these celebrities want to come out and file lawsuits for misinformation, and you giving liars a platform, allegedly, if they are lying, they can prove all of this other stuff with their whatever the case is. But when you out here talking about people embezzling money, when that's something you've been accused of, be careful of the energy you put out there, because now Cardi's like, oh, really, bitch? So you want to sit up here and talk about other people? Where my money at? So, for those who don't remember, Cardi sued Tasha in 2019 for a malicious campaign of slander on her blog, earning the rapper $4 million in damages and legal fees from the blogger. The mother of four's attorney asked for a provision of her bank records just 2 months after they buried their legal hatchet with millions of dollars in the backlog of retribution. In the documents for Tasha's bankruptcy case in Florida, Cardi demanded that her company provide records relating to all her income from YouTube and her other social media accounts. But that ain't all. The media personality also requested for copies of the blogger's tax returns. Child. Well, sis, I hope you was out here paying your bills, because if you haven't been out here paying you haven't been paying the IRS, you already know they don't play when it comes to their money. So now, during the defamation lawsuit statement, Tasha agreed to pay the rapper $1.2 million over the span of 5 years and refrain from trash talking the singer on other social media platforms, which is true. She has not been talking about Cardi. She can't mention her name, although she was using other ways of trying to get around that to spill the tea, specifically when it came to her relationship with Stephon Diggs. So I was catching you can't say her name specifically, but you can go around, find a roundabout way of getting to the conversation about Cardi without mentioning Cardi's name, if that makes any sense. So, um, then it also said, as confirmed by TMZ, the agreement instructed Tasha to produce her financial records every quarter. But it looked like to me she hasn't done that, because they asking for it. Now, following the settlement, Trashy revealed in a court document that her financial situation had been made worse because of her bankruptcy in 2023. As noted by The Blast, the blogger explained in the 11th chapter of her document that she is a content creator and influencer, and that is her source of income. Tasha affirmed that she earned her income through YouTube appearances and gigs from Instagram and other social media platforms. Yeah, because you could definitely make a lot of money doing that. I mean, Funky Dineva, they do, and they a lot of the YouTubers and stuff, the big ones, they do, appearances and things. Funky Dineva does it. Who else? Kempire has been doing stuff with his channel regarding meetups and all that other stuff. So a lot of the YouTubers are getting into that whole meet and greet and doing traveling. It's Fag Talk with T.S. Madison and Craig. They traveling to city wineries and all these different places doing their show and meeting the fans and all that stuff. Excuse me. Hmm. Okay, so now the blogger continued that Cardi remains her biggest creditor, to whom she owes $3,363,753. Tasha noted that the same blog where she earns income got her into legal trouble because she had claimed Cardi previously worked as an escort, used hard drugs, and had an STD on the channel. So it's like, yeah, if you don't have proof of all this other stuff, if you don't have any kind of attachment or wherewithal of her medical records, whatever the case is, which would be a violation of HIPAA law, um, you can't be out here saying somebody got an STI and all this other stuff when you don't have the proof that they have that. You're just making assumptions. Now, in 2023, the blast shared that Cardi went after Tasha on Twitter for bringing up Takeoff's name in a comment about the mother of four. Tasha had said this under a gossip site comment section, saying, wasn't she posting guns right after Takeoff died and on the internet cutting up not long after his sudden takeoff? I'm just asking. Everybody grieves differently. You weren't asking, you were being messy. Now, Cardi expressed her displeasure with the comment and slammed Tasha for bringing up the late Migos rapper to prove a point. She related that it was pretty hard for her and her then husband Offset to deal with the reality of losing Takeoff so suddenly. According to Cardi, she lost weight and could not eat for days, adding that Offset was still dealing with the aftermath of Takeoff's death. The rapper stressed that she also used the guns Tasha referred to for safety purposes because rappers get targeted at all times. 4 months after Cardi clinched the win in her excuse me defamation case against the blogger, Tasha responded with an appeal filed through her attorneys. Now, in her filing to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit, the blogger's lawyers requested that the verdict in Cardi's case be overturned as a piece of vital evidence was not included by the judge. The blogger's lawyers insisted that Judge William Ray, who presided over the case, overlooked key evidence about Cardi's character, which played a role in the jury's decision. According to the attorney, the jury heard a very lopsided presentation of evidence, and because they did not get to earn or learn who the plaintiff truly is, the jury returned a general verdict for the plaintiff against both defendants. Now, during the trial, the presiding judge reportedly set aside the evidence because it could be prejudicial against Cardi and had no direction in the case. Tasha's attorney also said that Cardi's lawyer failed to prove that his client acted with actual malice in regards and things she posted about Cardi B. And in the appeal, the blogger's lawyer stressed that her claims were born out of thin air and referenced a particular video where Tasha accused Cardi of performing sex acts with her. Wait, what? They said she accused Cardi of performing sex acts with beer bottles on fucking stripper stages. Tasha's lawyers stated that she saw the video on a porn site and the woman involved looked like Cardi doing those things. Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that video. That there was a video going around that, and I think that's where the lawsuit came from. Now that I think about it, there was a woman at a strip club who I guess was sticking bottles in her cootie cat, and she's like, "Oh, so you made it and out there and said it was Cardi." Now you can't be out here making accusations if it's not true, and I think that is the slippery slope that a lot of people don't realize when you get in this line of business. If you're going to be a YouTuber, if you're going to be a podcast, if you're going to go and spew celebrity news and gossip, you can read a bitch down when she doing dumb shit. But when you got a personal vendetta against somebody you don't know and just saying all these different things, probably because you feel in a way, and we already know how women get particularly jealous of other women for whatever reason. Maybe they look a certain way, or they may have said something that rubs you the wrong way, or whatever the case is. I don't know. But people have to learn to be objective in the type of stuff that they spew. Because one of the things I'm not doing I'm not fucking up my bag for a bunch of people watching my show because you want me to get messy and you want me to just say some crazy shit about a celebrity. What does that do for me financially? What does that do for me in the long run? If a story comes out here and it needs to be talked about, I'm going to bring the facts and I'm going to give my opinion. Just like when I read down Justin Timberlake and Pharrell dumbass. If they're going to say something or do something stupid, you call it out. You don't bring whatever biases or personal vendetta or whatever you have against a certain person, because all that's going to end up doing is putting you in court. Am I going to come out here and spew lies and vitriol about a celebrity because I want attention and I want clout? All that's going to do is you're going to end up in court catching a case, and then now I got to spend thousands of dollars on an attorney when that shit needs to go to bigger and better things like bills. Well, there's nothing bigger and better about bills. I hate paying bills because as an adult, that's what we got to do. But I don't want my money should go towards things that needs to go towards, and not just being caught up in no damn court with some dumb shit because I got to axe the grind with a celebrity. So I'll definitely keep abreast of this story as it develops and see if Cardi is able to get her hands on her financial records and her tax returns and all those things, or is she going to find a way to curtail around that? We'll see. So, yeah, I definitely want to hear from y'all regarding this story. Let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below.